So I'll open with a provocation, and maybe a reality, that London's nightlife is in crisis. In the past 16 years, London has lost over a quarter of its pubs, and in the past 10 years has lost a third of its live music venues and half of its nightclubs, and it's nightclubs that are close to my heart. This is alongside research by Nesta showing that nightlife venues are being pushed out of the West End and the city centre in particular. So purple are closed and orange are open venues, I think since 2005. And that push to the edge means that fewer people can access clubs and as such are kind of tarnishing the city's reputation. The reasons for such decimation are multiple. Gentrification is an obvious and much cited culprit, with rising prices and a hostile planning system. Nightlife venues, for example, have historically been responsible for any noise complaints, even if they predate a development. Amidst policing budget cuts, it doesn't help that nightclubs and other venues are seen, as we've heard, as nuisance neighbours, responsible for antisocial and criminal behaviour, both inside the venue and in the surrounding urban realm. This is leading or informing local councils to impose strict and expensive security conditions and tough licensing laws. On a more speculative sociological note, our 24 society is also arguably contributing, as we've heard, with its rise of nighttime work, non-stop connectivity and consumerism. We can always be online, we can always be shopping, we can always be working. As Jonathan Crary describes very nicely, 24/7 steadily undermines distinctions between day and night, between light and dark, and between action and repose. And it's this lack of distinction for the liberating separateness that nightlife is both built on and provides that's really challenging. And there are other factors, as we might know. So reduced drug and alcohol consumption, not bad in themselves. The rise of festivals, digital services like Tinder, Grindr, and Spotify are also considered to be contributing to the decline. But the fact, though, that new venues have been opening of late, some of which we might hear about tonight, such as Printworks we see here and Ghostworks in South London, suggests that we still want and need physical places to congregate and dance at night, whatever challenges these places face. And of course, as I'm sure we'll hear again, nightclubs are important to a thriving and inclusive city. They are central to the much flaunted nighttime economy in London, which generated 26.3 billion in 2016. They're also vital for our creative and cultural industries. So according to the Creative Industries Federation, creative businesses are drawn to areas with nightlife venues. So like other types of industries, nightlife thrives on clustering. Nightclubs are part of this creative infrastructure. They're sites of networking, of patronage, of experimentation, of innovation. And just to give a few design examples, because I could not, these experiments have ranged from everything from Ben Kelly's celebrated for the interior for Manchester's Hacienda, which looked like no club before it. To give perhaps another cliched example, the Blitz in Soho, where young fashion design students would create outfits that would then feed into their collections. A link between club and catwalk that continues today, seen, for example, in the fashion designer Charles Jeffrey and his Loverboy Club Night, and now fashion label, a brand he says started on the dance floor. And the importance of nightlife to London is, of course, starting to be recognised. From last year's appointment of a night czar to the night tube, to the government's support for the agent of change principle, wherein developers have to take account of their impact on existing businesses, such as nightclubs, rather than the other way around. And Ministry of Sound has already had some success with this. But I'm going to end my talk with a proposal. But it's a proposal to let the night be the night. To have, for example, licensing laws and business rates that encourage nightlife venues, planning policy that considers the day and the nightlife of a city and its multiple communities, from local residents to visiting hedonists, or the other way around, and promotion and protection for existing and emerging clubs, pubs, and live music venues. And so finally, to let the night be the night means ensuring our city at night is a time and a space to go out, to have fun, to dance, to intoxicate yourself with new sounds, new spaces, and anything else you fancy, and to meet and to be different people. And that's whether your night starts at midnight or midday. Thank you.